All right, everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make some brownies. Here are the ingredients for simple, moist cake brownies. I like my cake brownies a little moist, or brownies kind of cakey and moist and not so fudgy. So this is the recipe for that. We got all of our mix-ins. It could be chocolate chips, white chocolate chips. There's nuts. There's milk chocolate. Sometimes I add pretzels. Anything you want to add, that is your mix-in. We have all-purpose flour, sugar, cocoa powder, butter, oil, salt, baking powder, and eggs. All right, and then some vanilla. So the first thing that we're going to do, let me move these out of the way. Okay, we are going to, well, let me move these things a little bit. Okay, we're going to get a burner. Okay, make sure it's centered, a burner. Before I do this, actually, I'm going to spray my pan, a little bit of pan spray. It's a 9 by 13 inch pan. You could use a glass dish, but I have one of these very small sheet pans. But you could also use just a 9 by 13 inch dish. So what I like to do is spray the bottom, add my parchment paper, okay? I'll do a little spritz on top just so it doesn't stick. Okay, so that is, just get that out of the way. Then on my burner, oh shoot, hold on. Take a pause. I would totally stop my camera, but it takes a long time to upload if it's more than one. If it's more than one file, so this is the easiest way. Just like we did a demo at school. Okay, in this pan, some water in it because I just washed it. Okay, we're going to melt the butter. Okay, we're gonna put our butter in this pan here. We're just gonna melt it first. Okay. Let that go. Get a bowl ready for later. And a sifter. Okay, so that's a bowl and a sifter. I'm going to use that later. We're going to melt this. You don't want it to brown. You just want to melt it. Okay. I'm going to sift this cocoa powder. It looks a little chunky, so I'm going to sift that first, because we're going to add that to the melted butter. Essentially, we're making unsweetened cocoa. You know that nasty unsweetened cocoa you could buy at the store? This is essentially what we're making with the cocoa powder and fats. Oh, ooh, it's going. Okay. Okay, once that is melted, it's almost there. Once that is melted, we are going to whisk in. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to whisk in the oil. We got 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Okay, and then the cocoa powder I just sifted just to get any lumps out. And I'll pour that in there. See, I'm going to save this bowl to sift my other dry ingredients in. I'm going to whisk this together. Okay, actually they said you could cook it over low heat just until it's blended, but I think it looks good. We don't have to really cook it, but just until it's, okay, you don't want it to bubble. It looks good. Okay, from here, it's really dark because I'm using the specialty dark cocoa. From here, I'm gonna set this aside, take my burner out of the way. Okay. I am going to pour this into a bowl. Actually, these are very easy brownies. Super easy. Okay, pour this into a bowl. Okay, then with a spatula, I am gonna break in, actually I'm gonna stir in the sugar. Okay. Look how deep that chocolate is. Okay, it's gonna look kind of wrong, but don't worry about it. Okay. Then I'm gonna add my eggs one at a time. Should have cracked these eggs ahead of time. Just gonna crack them into a bowl so I don't have to worry about cracking each egg into this big bowl. Okay, let me wash my hands real quick. Got cocoa powder all over it. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna add my eggs one at a time. It's gonna look like you're not doing much, but they'll come together. Okay, add another egg. The reason why we're adding the egg one at a time is to create an emulsification, like we talked about, because if we add all the eggs at once, it just won't mix as well. See, look how nice and smooth it's getting. Okay. Okay, then I'm gonna add my last egg. Okay, look how glossy that is. It's delicious. All right. I'm going to add some vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. Mix that in. Okay. Then I'm going to sift these dry ingredients. We're just going to add them gradually to this mixture. You don't want to add it all at once. I'm just going to sift a little bit. Oops, don't get it all over the place. Sift it a little bit. I'm going to add the baking powder now. And then the salt directly because it's kosher salt. I can't sift that. It's going to get stuck. So I'll sift a little bit. I'm going to mix it. Okay, a little bit more, the rest of it. Once you add the flour, you don't want to overmix it. It's going to get tough, so you just want to lightly fold it. And just stir it, actually, so you don't need to fold. Okay, once all the flour is incorporated, then you want to stir in your chips and nuts and pretzels if you want, anything chocolate covered, whatever Easter candy you have left, Valentine's Day stuff, chop it up and stick it in here. That'd be delicious. Could have added my Cadbury eggs, but it's okay. So after that's all mixed, I'm going to add, I have white chocolate chips, I have milk chocolate discs, I have pecans, all right? I have chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. Look at that. I think I added way more than I needed to, but that's all right. I'm just gonna lightly fold this. Okay, look at that. Super good. Then I'm going to pour it directly into my baking pan. Okay. Should have saved some nuts for the top because that will look really fun. You could save some and then decorate the top a little bit. All right. Okey-dokes. Going to just spread it out a bit. It's really thick. Sometimes if it looks thicker than this, what I like to do is spray my hands and kind of pat it down. Okay, there you go. Maybe I'll put some, I think it'll be fine. I was gonna put some white chocolate chips on top, but it'll be a-okay. Tap it down a little bit to release some of the air bubbles. Put this in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, or until you insert a toothpick in the center and it comes out nice and clean. It's gonna be a little bit puffy. It's gonna be set on the sides, a little bit puffy in the middle, and that's when it's done. You could dust the top with powdered sugar, and there you go. Easy brownies.